Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Should we begin now? Should we wait for them to... So Hadeeth number 33. Try and do... Yeah. Can you read it out for us?
I can try.
عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم لدعا رجال أموال قوم دماءهم، لكن لم يبين على المدعي واليمين على من أنكره.
جزاك الله خير. English please, yeah.
On the third of the last of the Quran, and Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, were people to be given everything that they claimed, men would claim the wealth and the lives of other people. But the onus of proof is upon the claimant, and the taking of an oath is upon one who denies, upon him who denies. The Hadeeth narrated by Al-Bayhaqi and others in his own and another of these in the two Sahihs.
Can you read it for us in English, but clearer, because I couldn't hear you. Yeah, please, in English.
On the reference of Ibn Abbas that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, were people to give and everything that they claimed, men would claim the wealth and the names of people. But the onus of proof is upon the claimant, and the taking of an oath is upon him who denies.
بارك الله فيكم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللسامعين ولجميع المسلمين أجمعين. I ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to make this gathering a beneficial one, to make it sincere for His sake, Jalla Jalaluh. So we're in Hadith number 33, where the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in an authentic narration, in that which was reported on the authority of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma. What's the meaning of radiallahu anhuma, Fahad?
Allah be pleased with both of them.
Who's both of them?
Him and his father.
So just as a point of benefit, many of us know already, but when it says radiallahu anhuma, meaning if the companion had a father who was a Muslim, or the parent was Muslim, then it will be said radiallahu anhuma, meaning them and their father. And Rasulullah sallallahu قال لو يعطى الناس بدعواهم لادعى رجال أموال قوم ودماءهم. So meaning in this hadith, the Shaykhana Shaykh Muhsin Abbad حفظه he says that هذا حديث أصل من أصول الأحكام, that this is from the foundations of and the principle within ahkam, the rulings. Why? Because, and the Shaykh he said also that this is from the things that a lot of judges use in Muslim countries. They use this specific ruling, or this hadith, because it is the asl, the foundation of justice. Why? Because it says that if we were to give the people, with that which they claim, for example, Ayyub came and went to the court and says Abdullah has stolen from his land, and then the judge just gives him according to what he says, and then someone else comes and claims something. It means, literally the hadith, that لَدَّعَ رِجَالُ أَمْوَالَ قَوْمٍ وَدِمَاءَهُمْ. Someone will come and say, someone else will say that this person has killed my father, that person has killed my mother, that person. And if it was the case that Islam was like that, where we give the ruling according to that which we've heard, just like that, without any bayyinah, without any proof, then it will be the case that people will come and claim whatever they claim and they'll be given everything. That's the ikhtisar of the whole hadith. As for the points of benefit, then the Shaykh he mentions here that the Messenger ﷺ made clarification that upon the person that is making a claim, the one that's making the claim, he has to come and bring bayyinah. Okay? And the Shaykh, he said here that bayina, this is a point of benefit, that bayina is a'am from shaheed. Because if, for example, I say that he is my witness, Ishaq is my witness, or Abdullah or Kareem is my witness, then I'm limited to that which they have seen. Okay? Meaning that I'm taking him as my shaheed, he is my witness, so therefore he's going to fight for me. Like a judge or a lawyer, whatever. Like a lawyer. But here the Prophet ﷺ says al-bayyina. So the Shaykh, when he explains the meaning of bayyina, he said that it's even more that of evidence that will be used against the person that they're claiming has done something, because it says bayyina. Bayyina is something that's aam, it's general. So therefore, it's something that can be used in a court case or whatever it may be. So the Shaykh, he says here, the meaning of bayyina, kullu ma yubayyinu al-haqq, everything that makes the truth apparent. Okay? ويدل عليه من شهود أو قرائن أو غيرها, anything that which will prove the truth. Yeah. وهي كل ما يبين الحق ويدل عليه من شهود أو قرائن أو غيرها. So anything that proves the truth, whether it's going to be a witness, someone is going to be a witness, i.e. they're the one that saw what happened, what took place, or anything else that is of means that will help you in that which you claim. And that's, subhanAllah, that's how it shows us the justice of Islam. That someone can't come and claim anything. That's the meaning of this hadith, that you can't come and claim that he did this or she did this. Because if it was the case, they would come and say that this person did this and he stole my money and she killed my person and she killed him, he killed that. It would be fawda. So hence why the Prophet ﷺ said that وَلَكِنَ الْبَيِّنَ عَلَى الْمُدَّعِ. Okay, the one that claims that someone did something, Yusha claims that I did something, he has to come and prove it. He has to come and prove it. Yes, say you. Give example, for example, if we went to court, me and Yusha, for example, we're fighting against each other. I claimed that Yusha took my property. Okay? May Allah protect us. And then I have a witness. Okay, one witness who says, yes, it's true, I saw it, Abdullah owned this property, we signed the contract, we should come up with a fake contract, for example. Okay, and Brother Ishaq is my witness, that, he's the one that came and signed it, that is going to be mine. But then he came and took it without my permission. Yusha says, no, this is wrong. He comes with other evidences, not just the witness. So a witness is unlimited, shaheed is limited, like it's a witness, physical person, someone who saw it. He comes with bayyina, he comes with the fact that the property was never in my name. Or rather, it was a fake contract. He comes with CCTV cameras. He comes with other things. Qara'in, that's the meaning of qara'in, meaning other things that will prove that which I'm claiming. So it means that the bayyina itself is a'am, is more general than a shaheed.
Does that fall under Burhan?
Yeah, that's proof, isn't it? Yeah. How to kuntum sadiqeen.
But is it different for different matters?
No, of course, obviously. This is just hadith in general in terms of when you claim something, but of course different matters is different. And then the Shaykh said, for example, he gave example, he said, there are cases where someone doesn't need bayyina, doesn't need proof. For example, a sister is finished her iddah, okay, she's finished her iddah. She doesn't need to come and prove it. No one knows it except for her. So the Shaykh says this is an example of when someone doesn't need to prove or come with proof about something. Another example, a brother, for example, walked in, a young man, has walked into a room, and we tell him, for example, there's sisters there, we need to get something, but we can't because obviously none of our maharam are there, so there are other sisters that are ajanib to us. So we tell the young brother, actually, can you please go and get something? Ayub says, no, I've reached my stage of puberty, I can't go. He says, what's your proof? We can't say to him, what's his proof? You can't do that. You can't say, bring your bayyina and bring this proof. So the Shaykh, he actually gave this example and says, for example, yesterday he had a wet dream. We can't say to him, okay, bring your proof that you've had a wet dream. So this is from the examples where it's not needed to have a bayyina. And obviously there's other examples, but these are the main two that are very clear that it's not always a must to have proof. But we're not talking about now someone's done something or someone is guilty of something. No, just these two examples. And then the Shaykh he says, as for the meaning of, so we've explained the first two parts. لكن البين على المدعي is to bring the proof. واليمين على من أنكر. So meaning, he's going to be cleared. Okay, he's going to be free from that which he has been. For example, the example I gave of Yusha. Okay, I claim that he done something against me, something wrong, he harmed me or oppressed me, but he brought his proof. So therefore, he's now free of it, of that which I've accused him of doing. Okay, that which I've accused him of doing. What was the last part in English of the hadith? Anyone? Yeah, the English part.
Taking oath. Taking of an oath is upon him who denies.
Taking.
So, were people to be given everything that they claim, men would unjustly claim the wealth and lives of other people, but the onus of proof is upon the claimant. Okay. And the taking of an oath is upon him who denies.
Yeah, so the taking of an oath is upon him who denies. So the Shaykh he says, meaning he'll be free from it, and it's wajib upon him to make inkar, okay, to say I did not do this, okay, and he has to do this because of the fact that he's been accused of doing something. So therefore he has to make sure he brings proof. Just like the person that is wajib upon him, the one that says I have accused him of doing something, I have bring my proof. Now of course he has to, in a court case we're talking about a scenario, he has to bring proof that he's free as well. But the one that is more wajib to bring proof is the one that has claimed I have done such and such. Does that make sense?
So when you mean, who's that claiming in the scenario? And you mean, who's that talking about? The person that's being... Yes, so is that the person?
The one that has ankar, made inkar of it.
Okay.
So the one who's defending himself.
Yeah.
And is that taking an oath and saying, well, Allah, saying, swear by Allah?
Here the hadith didn't explain, but the Shaykh he said, generally speaking, in order for him to be free, is that he says, I'm free, and he brings his proof.
And you can also swear by Allah.
Yeah, of course you can swear by Allah, but once again, Ikhwani, we live in a day and age where everyone swears by Allah.
Yes.
And yet they're liars.
In the case of fi'l zina, that's the last resort, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying on a general...
Not swear by Allah, but to call the curse of Allah upon them.
Yeah, if they're lying, yeah.
Like mubah.
Yeah, but meaning, generally speaking though, we live in a day and age where everyone swears by Allah because it's so easy on the tongue. Wallahi, wallahi, wallahi. That's why in Islam, we shouldn't use the word of Allah, an oath, taking an oath, lightly. We shouldn't just use it all the time. There's no need for it. Because it should be that we should be people that tell the truth, generally speaking. So therefore we shouldn't need to use it unless in a scenario where we actually need to use it.
And sorry, just to interrupt, this hadith translate, I'm presuming it translates into the claimant of the religion as well. So when it makes a claim in accordance to the religion, it's upon him to bring the proof,
In terms
the
of...
shahid, as in the witness, is the hadith or the saying of the messenger. Just what I say it's okay to do 5 rak'ah for dhuhr. Then it's upon me to bring the proof.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant in terms of accepting Islam.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of any deen-related matter, isn't it? You can't just say something bigayr ilm, you have to bring the...
Of course, well, that's why they say the hustle in the religion in terms of actions is that everything is haram, except if you've got proof of it.
Barakallah.
Feekum barakallah. And then the Shaykh, he brought a nice benefit. He said, just like in the affairs of the dunya, okay, worldly life, when they claim something, they have to bring proof. So therefore, if they're claiming something about the akhirah as well, they have to also bring proof. Then the Shaykh, he brought something that was really, really nice. He says that with regards to those that claim they love the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay, the ones that claim they love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَمَنِ ادَّعَى مَحَبَّةِ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. Whoever claims they love Allah and His Messenger. What's upon them? يَكُونُ صَادِقًا فِي دَعْوَاهُ إِذَا اتَّبَعَ الرَّسُولِ. They will be from those that are telling the truth if they follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As Allah says in the Quran, who knows the proof? Yeah, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِ. Okay, if you claim that you love Allah the Almighty, then follow me and Allah will love you and forgive you. And then he says that how many people? And he said that Ibn Kathir said that this ayah is from the proofs of those, or it's used as like a proof against those that claim they love the Messenger, but then they worship the graves and they do other things that go against it. But if you claim you love the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you should follow him in everything, and you should obey Allah the Almighty and follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
To what extent is that taken then, in terms of how do you take that practically apply? Like as in, obviously you know someone who worships the graves, this is clear-cut matters.
Yeah.
But like in terms of the brothers and the ikhwan, we all make mistakes, isn't it? You know, we're all falling off the path, and maybe we're not all following the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the best way. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, how do you practically apply that? Like,
It's easy. The hadith we covered earlier, where Prophet ﷺ says that fear Allah as much as you can, and that which I've ordered you, do with that which you can, but the rest of it fear Allah. No one is perfect in following Allah Azza wa Jalla in that which He commanded. We commit sins. If that was the case, then we wouldn't be humans in terms of we didn't commit sins. And then it's likewise in terms of following the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we don't follow him to the fullest, but we should try our best to do it and fear Allah Azza wa Jalla. And that's how you can apply it practically, meaning, and the best way, the easiest, after reading the Quran without a doubt, is reading the seerah, the biography of the Prophet ﷺ. Because whenever you're in scenarios, that's an application you can use when you're married, before marriage, when you're in business transactions, dealing with the people, dealing with your parents, dealing with brothers, whatever it may be. Why? Because if you read the seerah and you see how Prophet ﷺ was, it helps you apply the way he was as a person. And obviously if you know how he was, you know that his mannerisms was the Quran, which obviously he's the best of mankind. That's the best way. Reading the seerah is something that we don't do a lot, hence why certain things that we do falls into contradiction with regards to the way the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have dealt with this specific scenario or situation. Seerah, the best book, or any books? Allah, in English, I think it depends on some of them have bits and bobs that are not authentic, so you have to be careful of that. Sealed Nectar, I think, is very detailed. Yeah, I think that's one of the ones, me personally, I enjoyed. Well, Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahhab in English, Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahhab wrote one, Seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, and I think that's been translated into English. I've been told it's been translated. Yeah, I don't know by who, but I've been told that's been translated. So that's a very good one. Or Mi'iyah, the 100 lines of poetry of the Prophet ﷺ, that's also another good one. There's so many, but generally speaking, that's from the ones that I know that are really good. And there are ulama that I've explained it on YouTube and on their websites that you can listen to in terms of Arabic.
I think Sheikh Saif al-Rahman Mubarakpuri, he won the award as well.
Yeah, he did.
For the best,
like I said, in terms of detail, but it's detailed as well. For me, it's detailed. Yeah. There's more Ibn Hisham, even if you want to go into, become a historian, you can read Ibn Hisham.
Ibn Hisham is the one, because the Hashia in Sealed Nectar, most of the Hashia.
Because Ibn Hisham, because it's the most detailed. But he kind of took that, extracted it, summarized it in a way which is simple for someone to understand. Next hadith, you?
Sorry, where are we from?
Hadith number 34. Yeah.
الحديث الرابع والثلاثون من أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول من رأى منكم منكرا فليغيره بيده فإن لم يستطع فبلسانه فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان رواه مسلم. Whoever whom you sees an evil, then it's upon him to change it with his hand, and if he's not able to change it with his hand, then he'll change it with his tongue, and if he's not able to change it with his tongue, then it's upon him to hate it with his heart. فذلك أضعف الإيمان, that is the weakest of the faith. Reported by Muslim.
So this hadith by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, he said that he had the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that whoever sees something, مَنْ رَأَ مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا فَلْيُغَيِّرْهُ بِيَدِهِ, whoever sees evil, let him change it by the means of his hand, physically. If he can't, فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ, with his tongue, by making inkar, disliking it or trying to stop it, verbally. If he can't, فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ رواه Muslim. If he can't do that, then the lowest stage, meaning that which he should do, the next level is to hate it in his heart. For her to hate it in her heart, meaning that specific evil that they saw or witnessed. Now this hadith is a beautiful hadith. The Shaykh, he split it into two categories. Shaykh Al-Badi says the first category is those that have authority, okay, and rulership over the people, those that are in charge, the leaders. They can change that which they see in a general context, meaning they see something, they can change it because they have authority and power. Okay, the next category is by those that are, inshallah soon, Ayyub and Ishaq and Fahad, those that are married, okay, in your household. Okay, if you're married in your household, you see evil, you can change it. Now, if you're a son in a household, changing evil could be difficult, of course, due to your parents. Of course, the authority is on them, not on you. It doesn't mean you still can't change it. I'm not saying that, just generally speaking, those in authority, that's authority khasa, direct authority that you have. If you're a man of your household, then you can change the evil. Why? Because kullukum ra'i, kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati. All of you are responsible for the folk, and all of you are responsible. So therefore you should be able to change the evil if you see it. And that should be without any question. No one should say, oh, I can't. Because the man of the household should be able to change anything that's in his household of evil. Unless the wife is the one wearing the pants of the relationship, then that's completely different. You know, unfortunately, the day and age we live in today with this isms and what have you. Allah understand. Yeah. But generally, that's how it should be. So the Shaykh, he said that with changing evil, it should be, there's 3 layers as well. 3 different layers. Why? Because the first one shows this hadith that taqwa comes within this hadith. It shows you the piety of someone, or the iman, I should say. Faith, the iman of someone is, some of them have high iman. They see something, they can change it. Physically, if they can't change it physically, they do it verbally. Because they know that, you know, they have iman, this is wrong, they change it. Of course, with hikmah though, ikhwan, this is another thing as well, it's important to know. You don't just change something like that. For example, you walk inside your household. This is a very good scenario. Many of us probably have been in this scenario many times. But when you're young, and you have that hamasa with jahl, murakkab, this is when it's an issue. Because then you chase people away from the deen more than you bring them in. And the ghaya should be that you're dragging people into the deen with the ways of your actions. Now, if for example, you walk in your household, and let's just say for, you know, your parents are listening to music, what do? How do you change that evil?
Try to advise them, right? Presuming in a nice way. You know? It's your father, your mum. You have to speak to them with ihtiram, you know, and respect, and just maybe try to explain what the evidence is, you know, and not be too shout at them, you know, or argue with them about it.
Okay, so the first approach, as what the teacher says, you come, you speak to them, you know, advise them with gentleness. Okay, they tell you, what are you talking about? Go away. Just yesterday I was changing your piece. What do you do then?
Have sabr with them, so, you know.
You bring up a conversation, say I want to talk to you about something. And
I don't want to listen. I'm being a difficult father, I don't want to listen to you. You tell me something. How dare you come to my house and tell me something in my house? This is my house. I pay the bills.
I need your advice here, Abi.
Okay, and then?
So then he might turn off the music.
Okay.
I need to talk to you as well.
Okay, and then?
And then he might say, okay, turn it off.
Do you know what's funny is this exact situation happened to me today.
I like that example.
It was
Drift it away, yeah.
Drift it away, that's very good. So that approach, one second, so that approach is good. Sometimes it doesn't have to be. Reason why I'm bringing it up, a lot of brothers, unfortunately, and sisters, they don't have wisdom. What's wisdom? What did you say? What's wisdom? Yeah, so when you put something in its place, in its right place, it doesn't necessitate for you to stop the munkar, the evil, that you have to approach it directly. It's not a must all the time. It could be in a very subtle, indirect way, and they don't even realize. But that's you using wisdom. Because, for example, if I came to your face and I said, you're ignorant jahil, you're going to like it. Is that going to be something that, and I'm younger than you, for example, or I'm your child, and I came to your house and I said, you're jahil. You're going to come and love me and give me a hug? Exactly. So it's exactly the same thing in a way. You're basically going to them in their face and you're saying to them, I'm better than you. I know more than you, hence why you need to listen to me. So it's always best to look at the situation. And there's a beautiful saying by Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, rahimahullah. He gave advice to someone. He said, if you want salam, if you want to be, free and safeguarded from the adhab of Allah Azza wa Jalla with regards to the people and their honor, then when you see someone old, treat them as your father, meaning respect them. Okay, and obviously it's according to the hadith. It basically goes hand in hand with the hadith. When you see someone your age, treat them as your brother. And when you see someone younger than you, treat them as your child. Meaning everyone treat them accordance. As the Prophet says, "Laysa minna man lam yahtarim." No one, they're not from us. The one that doesn't have respect to the older and have mercy upon the one that is young. So it's not a must for you to go directly, 150 miles an hour in their face telling them this is haram, because then it's like, okay, but then what are you giving them to substitute? And that's one thing you have to bear in mind. When you started practicing, what did you have? For you didn't understand anything. And that's something that a lot of us brothers, unfortunately, and sisters, we tend to forget. When we've been guided by Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah has favored us, had mercy over us, we forget how we was yesterday. We forget how we were yesterday. كَذَلِكَ كُنْتُم مِّن قَبْلِ فَمَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمْ. Just yesterday as well, you were doing haram. Yesterday you were listening to stuff that's haram. You were maybe in nightclubs, whatever, raving, drinking alcohol, drugs. And then Allah says, so how do you always think about how do you want someone to give you da'wah? Or, better question, how would you have wanted someone to approach you when you were in the midst of haram? With gentleness or 150 miles an hour telling you that's haram? If you've got a whiskey bottle, may Allah protect us, you've got a whiskey bottle in your hand, okay, you're drinking, you're off it, you're completely off it. Salah is not in your mind, nothing's in your mind. You've got a whiskey bottle in your hand. How do you want someone to come and tell you to stop doing that? You really think that someone that's going to approach you is going to come 150 miles an hour and you're not going to attack them? Or maybe it might start into a brawl or fight? It's impossible for you to accept advice in that state. They need to come, in a subtle way that he wouldn't even realize that he's managed to get you from drinking, swearing and doing all sorts to sitting down on the floor drinking water, having a conversation with you. And then from there, so stages, baby steps. But that's what we need to always bear in mind, ikhwani. All the time, wisdom is the best thing. Because then, why? You won't regret what you've done. And you would have done something with hikmah. Afwan akhi, you were saying something happened, incident.
That exact situation happened today in town. There was about 3 or 4 Somali sisters. They were in the middle of the street and they were dancing to music. And me and the brothers were there. And I said to them, sisters, it's a haram. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. And one of the sisters was like fine with it. She was like, jazakallah khair. The other sister was like getting all offended about it. I was like, sister, it's nothing against you. We're not judging you, but this is open munkar. This is open evil, yeah? So I said that, whoever gives up something for the sake of Allah, Allah will give him something better. And anyway, these 2 Jamaican dudes come out of nowhere, bro. I don't know, I think they were chilling with him or something like that, yeah? And they've come over and they've come to the brother and they're this other brother, and they're like, oh, what's all of this about, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what are you talking about, bro? Come round the corner. And there was about 3-4 of us, and we were like packing some stuff away into one of these sheds. And they came up and I just explained to them, I was like, look, at the end of the day, we're advising our sisters and stuff like that, and that's the situation. Perhaps you'd see me in a situation where I might be in a nightclub on the weekend, whatever, and it would be upon them to say something to me, like, it's not the best way to blah, 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 this is haram, But yeah, that exact situation just happened today, so that's why I mentioned it to you. SubhanAllah.
May Allah give you tawfiq. Well, no, Allah, it's important to always use wisdom because then you don't regret what you've done.
There's a hadith about one in the time of the Prophet, there's a man who was drinking. He was drinking a lot, and the Sahaba wanted to beat him, and they told him don't drink. Every time they'd see him, he'd be drunk.
Yeah.
So they brought them out to the Prophet, and the Prophet said, leave him alone, for verily he loves Allah and His Messenger.
Yes.
And instead now...
No, they insulted him, didn't they?
They were going to hit him.
Maybe you be maybe you made a curse, something like that. Said something in it. Not what disgrace you. Yeah.
So look at that. That's what I'm saying. Another example is the one that was urinating in the masjid. How did Prophet deal with it? But all of that is just once again showing us that he was arhamul nas, the most merciful, and he is the most kind. Because once again, it's like yes, you have high iman, therefore you're able to do something, but the way you do it and the approach is always key. It's always key, because then you're going to be remembered. But let's say, for example, the brother Fahad came to advise me, but he came in a very nice and gentle way. If I see him again, I'm going to remember the khair that he did for me. I know that also as well, it shows the sincerity, the way the brother's coming to approach you with advice. That it shows a lot. Someone coming to advise you, and the way they do it shows a lot about, are they really sincere, or they just want to just, bring me up and just expose me. That's another reminder for myself as and foremost, and all the brothers and all of us, that when it comes to advising ikhwani, like stopping the evil, always know that it's best to have sitr. Always try and cover the mistakes and the flaws of your brothers and sisters. You don't have to advise me, or you don't have to advise that person in a way where you're going to expose them. And then everyone's going to know what happened. Just do it for the sake of Allah. But it doesn't have to be direct in front of their face, or it doesn't have to be a way where you're going to make them feel uncomfortable. And also, another thing as well, with that, if I'm advising Fahad in front of all of you, and Fahad's your friends, how's Fahad going to take my advice? Most likely he won't take it. He'll probably shut me down. Why? Because he's in front of you, and he wants to not look like a fool in front of you towards me. So therefore, if I took him alone and say, can I speak to you just for a second about a matter, and took him away, it's one-on-one. Therefore, it's much more better. More sincere, exactly, as well.
When it's in front of the people, is to make him look.
To expose,
to do it, you're not doing it out of sincerity. Because you want to make that person look low.
Exactly.
I disagree with that. Why?
No.
I read a hadith in Sahih Bukhari where Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Bi'sa al-khatiba anta." So a man doing a khutbah, where he said, وَمَن يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولِهِ. Instead of saying that, he said, وَمَن يَعْصِهُمَا. He changed the words slightly. He said, بِئْسَ الْخَتِيبَ أَنْتَ. What a wretched khatib you are. And in another narration, he said, go.
No,
so
but
I know what you're saying, but and the origin of the matter is that you should be merciful. Lekin, a certain matter before the people, if they think that it's acceptable to say something or to do something by the action or the virtue of somebody else, then you should refute it openly.
No, of course, we're not making I'm not generalizing, and I don't think it's generalizing, but just
that is a generalization to say that when someone does it openly, it's not sincerity. That's the opposite.
It depends.
The amount of times the Sahaba got up in the middle of gatherings and openly rebuked each other, or openly went against each other.
I think so.
Or debated with the Prophet about a matter.
In terms of like deen,
yeah.
Then that's when you need to do it in front of everyone, because you need to be in the nas. So for instance, if someone's saying something that's wrong in the religion, then that needs to be corrected in front of everybody. For instance, but if it's like you saw him do something
secret, you don't want to expose him.
Something
of course, 100%. You should conceal the fault of your brother always. Yeah. I just thought I needed to mention that. It's an issue which I get confused about, and I think it's an issue that a lot of brothers get confused about, because to openly forbade the munkar, when it's open and it's before the people, you can do it openly.
Yeah.
I listened to Sheikh Abdad talking about this.
No, of course.
He says even if the ruler does a munkar that is open, you can rebuke him openly about it. Lakin, if it's advice, if it's nasiha, you should take the ruler to one side and you should give him advice. Because it's to do with his personality. You're trying to advise him, you don't want to put him down before the people. But an evil, there's a matter of the deen, and there's a matter that needs to be exposed to the people. You should openly expose it. Lakin is a matter which is not upon me, it's upon the ulama and the people who have knowledge to do, but I'm just saying it's what I heard from Sheikh Al-Abdad as well.
But let's not stick to the topic with the hadith, ikhwani. But then with regards to the next part of the hadith, the Shaykh brings the verse, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا عَلَيْكُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ مَنْ ضَلَّ إِذَا اهْتَدَيْتُمْ. O you who believe, upon you, عليكم أنفسكم, يعني it's something that, subhanAllah, this verse of the Shaykh he brought, a lot of people think that it's in opposition to this actual hadith. But the Shaykh, he says here that if you as a person sees an evil and you try to stop it, okay, and then you advise someone about something that they're doing which is wrong, and they don't accept it, لا يضركم, their dalal, their misguidance, or them repelling or rejecting your advice, لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم. If you إذا اهتديتم, the Shaykh explains it, that if you have made your wajib, if you have done your, that which is upon you, إذا قمت إلى هذا الواجب هو الأمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. So that also, and another post is a long, if you want to go back to it, Shaykhana, Shaykh Muhammad Amin al-Shinqiti rahimahullah, صاحب أضواء البيان, okay, the author of أضواء البيان, he brought beautiful explanation explaining this specific hadith, bringing this verse basically. And he brought so many benefits. The one that wants to go back and revise it and check the benefits out. But from it, the ikhtisar is that the one that if you advise someone, if you do that which is wajib upon you, them rejecting, it won't harm you in any sort of shape, any sort of way, shape or form, because you've done that which you need to do. Yes, sir, you.
حرام to leave it off, even if you don't have evidence in the case, but you know that something's wrong, so to leave it off and not tell someone you're doing it wrong, is it haram to be not clear?
Yeah, the Shaykh, when he brought exactly what you said, that's what he actually said. He said that the person that has the capability but doesn't, then upon them is something. He didn't say it's haram, they'll be punished, but they have not followed this hadith, and even in the ayah, because of the fact that why? You leaving off haram. But akhi, once again, it's like you have to be more specific. It's like, are they able to do it? Are they not able to do it? Yes, sir.
I was going to say, isn't that would be adaf al-iman? Because
Exactly.
there's a hate in your heart, but you could exchange it with your hand or mouth, but you might not, but then you'd still hate it in your heart. If you didn't, then that's something else.
Yeah, so the Shaykh, exactly what he said, but in terms of, let's say you've seen haram, you're able to change it, okay, and then you're not hating it in your heart, what's the reason? But of course, this goes down to what the Shaykh al-Muhsin al-Bad said in the beginning, related to the maratib, the different levels of iman. Some have high iman, some have low. So let's say you're in a position where your iman is low, which means your ma'asi is high, okay, your sins are high. This, of course, you're not going to be in a stage where you even hate haram, because to you it's normal. Also, another thing as well, living in an environment like we're living in the West, a lot of the things that are haram, we have become like, it's almost as if we're immune to them. It's like it's normal. Because of the fact we see it every single day, we mix with the actual haram and we see it, and it becomes normal for us. But that goes back down to iman. So for example, let's say me and you are walking in the streets at you, and there's so much munkar and haram around us, and I'm normal with it. I'm just having conversations, giggling, laughing with you, and you're just, your heart is burning up. Why? Because you see what's around you, some munkar and haram, and you feel it. So therefore for you, it's like you're not comfortable. But for me, it's normal. Why? Because your iman is higher than mine. So therefore you see this, it affects you more than it affects me. But that's why the maratib of iman is due to the fact that the more good deeds you do, the more your iman is higher. The less good deeds you do, the less your iman is higher. And this all goes back down to you as a person and what you do when you get up to. But that's why it's something that helps, ikhwani, in terms of a point of benefit, in terms of your iman. It's very easy for your iman to go up and to go low. That which benefits you and helps you is the more you partake in doing good deeds. From them, in order for you to do good deeds, some people complain and say, how can I do good deeds? I'm struggling with doing good deeds, it's difficult for me. That means you're from those that don't have a lot of relation, don't have time with your Lord. And the relation between you and your Lord is not that strong in terms of remembrance of Allah. Dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal helps you and aids you in doing good deeds. The more adhkar that you do, just generally, and you're not praying, it's just generally speaking doing adhkar. Something that's wajib, of course, the salah. I'm talking about something that's extra, just doing dhikr, the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal helps you as a person also be able to do more good deeds. And then you're going to help your qareen, because each and every one of us has a qareen. And what's the hadith Rasulullah said? Even I have a qareen, except that Allah has aided me and made him Muslim, so therefore he aids me to do good deeds. Okay, so that's something that is crucial for you to always be from those that increases in the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal. That's what you're going to find in Akhirah. But going back to your point, the more you as a person you find it difficult, and that's when you check yourself as well. When you find it difficult to stop munkar, you need to review yourself and review your iman. Because if you see evil around you 24/7 and you can't stop it physically because it will cause more harm, and that's when, of course, it's better in the deen that when you do something, it's going to cause less harm than evil. You can't do it physically, you can't stop it. You can't verbally stop it. At the very least, hate it in your heart. You see kufr, you see munkar, you see hate it in your heart. If you can't physically change it or make change. But then that's the question though, is it true that you can't you make change? Huh? How? Okay, listen, you can't with your tongue. Huh? Okay, let's say not. I'm talking about not the Muslims. Generally speaking, you live in the West. How can you actually help in terms of be from those that makes change in society?
Give da'wah.
Okay, I'm not talking about physically or verbally.
Actions.
Oh,
That's what I was looking for. Is how actions. What are you going to say? No, what are you going to say?
Concentrate on yourself, like better yourself.
That's true, but in terms of concentrating on yourself, and then after that, if you're able to, character. Sometimes actually you don't have to physically. Sometimes it's better if you can. It's amazing to give da'wah verbally, physically. That's good. But I'm saying if you can't, sometimes it's just with character. Your character could be a means of someone else looking into Islam, and you won't even notice. Yes, it's happening.
For example, when we were in Zenos, just the way that how we had before, 2 people accepted Islam.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
So we were in an apprenticeship like 11 years ago,
Okay.
and we used to go to that apprenticeship in our 3 in Dobes.
Oh.
We had many ikhwa that went there, me, Abdullah, and a few other brothers.
Yeah.
And one person in my class accepted it. He came to us to accept Islam.
He was interested in Islam, just
And there was another brother, he accepted Islam as well after. And there was a girl who didn't pray. She ended up praying because she saw us go praying all the time.
Who's that brother that's in Islam? Who's that?
Philip, the white.
Ah, tall guy.
Philip.
He's a bit tall, yeah.
And then also the black. I don't know if I forgot his name. The black brother, Mujahid's friend.
I don't remember him. I remember he used to be with a guy, yeah, but just a picture, I can't get a picture in my head.
Yeah.
But I remember Philip. Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah. So two people accepted Islam. And you know what? That's when the Idara started questioning like, all these people. But we just were together, and they saw us.
That unity.
That unity, and
Yeah.
they just did that.
But that's what I'm saying to you, Ikhwani. It's important. It's very, very important for us to try our best to change ourselves. So the next hadith, Ikhwani, in the end, the next hadith. Hadith Abu Hurairah.
الحديث الخامس والثلاثون عن ابي هريره رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تحاسدوا ولا تناجشوا ولا تباغضوا ولا تدابروا ولا يحسدوا على الذي قولوا عباد الله اخوانا المسلم اخو المسلم لا يظلمه ولا يخذله ولا يحقره التقوى ها هنا يشير الى صدره 3 مرات بحسب من الشر أن يحقر أخاه مسلم. المسلم على مسلم حرام دمه وماله وعرضه رواه مسلم.
So this long hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he said that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, لا تحاسدوا. So beautiful characteristics that we've picked up from the West, huh? Unfortunately. Allah musta'an. The meaning of hasad, okay? It could be in worldly affairs or something to do with the hereafter. And it's the intent behind it, or the explanation the Shaykh gave, jealousy, having that sort of, and it could lead to envy, is al-hasad is when you wish for something that someone has of ni'mah, blessing, for it to go away from them. And the difference between that, jealousy and envy, is that with this one, this hadith, is that even if you get that or you don't get that which you wish for that, for example, Ishaq has a beautiful car outside. Nice, fresh, beautiful car. And that car that he's got, I wish that, I see him drive it and I just wish that car, today is the last day he drives that car.
How can you think about that?
Many Muslims are like that, unfortunately. I wish that it's the last day he drives that car. Whether I get that car or not, I just don't want to see Ishaq in that car driving tomorrow. It's too much for me, so I can't take it. What does that show you? Let me pick at your brains, Ikhwan. What does that show my state as a Muslim? What does it show?
A sick heart.
Other than that, other than the norm, I've got a sick heart. What else?
You're attached to the dunya.
Attached to the dunya. Something else. I'm looking for something specific. I've got a sick heart attached to the dunya. So I want that ni'mah, that blessing that Allah has blessed and bestowed over another Muslim. I want that specific blessing to leave them. Whether it reaches me or not, I don't care. As long as I don't see them with that blessing.
You don't love your brother, you love yourself.
I don't love my brother, I love myself.
I'm grateful to Allah.
I'm grateful to Allah.
You're not pleased with the qadr of Allah.
That's what I'm looking for. It means that you're not happy with the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal.
Subhanallah.
And that's deep, Ikhwani. That's very, very deep. Because if I now see something that Ishaq has, or the brother Ayyub, or the brother Yusha, or Fahad, or Abdullah, Ismail, or whatever it may be, Maryam, Fatim, I see them that they have something, and I wish for it to leave them, I've got issues with my belief in Iman.
That's what the ayah says, isn't it? يحسدون الناس على آتاهم الله من فضله.
Yeah. But how can you do such a thing? When we know that from the fundamentals of a Muslim, أن تؤمنوا بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله وتؤمنوا بالآخرة, of course as well, وتؤمنوا بالقدر خيره وشره. So now you've got issues with regards to your faith. And it stems from this hasad. What's the reason that you see yourself that you're not happy with that which another brother has? Ikhwani, but this is the whole essence of the fact that you need to be as a Muslim knowing that this dunya is faniya. This dunya is not everlasting. Our main goal should be the akhirah. Nothing else, nothing more. So that's the first part. That's what the Shaykh he explained. But once again though, the Shaykh he explained it in the previous hadith that we took with regards to zuhd in the dunya, that the one that has little but sees it as a lot has the contentment of Allah Azza. He's content with that which Allah has bestowed over him. Qana'ah, which not every single person has. That's why you should ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give you barakah in that which you have of provision. It's not important about how much you have, but rather it's about how blessed it is. And for Allah to give you qana'ah. That's why it says, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ أَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. Just thank Allah Azza wa Jal from the bounties and blessings He's bestowed over you. And Allah will give you more. The next part, وَلَا تَنَاجَشُوا. What does it mean, تَنَاجَشُوا?
Investigate.
For example, the meaning of it, the Shaykh gave example, he said, تَنَاجَشُوا is, Yusha is selling an iPhone to Ishaq. Okay? And then?
You should sell the phone to Ishaq.
And then I come in.
And then you come in and you raise the price.
Barakallah fi. That's what tanajashu. Don't do that. Yeah. So I come and I raise the price. Okay? And I don't even want to buy it. So I raise it for two reasons. The reason is because I'm a friend of Yusha. Two reasons. The first reason could be because I'm Yusha's friend. So I want him to sell the phone to Ishaq for a higher price so he gets more profit. Or because of the fact that I just really want to cause difficulty upon Ishaq and make it difficult for him to buy the actual phone, even though I have no intention of buying the phone. So Prophet ﷺ is saying, لا تناجشوا, don't partake in such thing. Don't do this. ولا تباغضوا. What's the meaning of this? Don't hate each other. Al-Muslim wal-Muslim kal-bunyan. That's how we should be, ikhwani. Wallahi, look, think to yourself as to why we have so many issues. We pray salah in one masjid, feet to feet, shoulder to shoulder. Our hearts are bain al-mashriq wal-maghrib. Hence why we can't get anything done. We can't do simple things in this day and age we live in today because our hearts are in different places. One is in the akhirah, one is in the dunya, one is here, one wants to become prime minister, the other wants to own this land. All nonsense is not going to benefit him in the dunya or the akhirah. And he won't attain any of these things. Why? Because we all have hubb al-dunya. That's the reason, hubb al-mal. That's the reason we become so diverted from the haqq. And it's literally become so sad. And then compared to the early stages of Islam, the companions, small in number, conquered lands. Traveling for months without any good food or water provision, on camels and horses and what have you, and they were able to conquer lands. The difference is because of the fact that Allah Azza wa Jal put their hearts and made it as one. Why? Because they had the same. All of them came from different walks of life. They all came from different mothers, not the same mother. They weren't, blood brothers and sisters. But they had the same heart in terms of sincerity to Allah Azza wa Jal. They were in it for the right reasons. They were all sincere to Allah Azza wa Jal. And then the Prophet says, وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا. What does it mean tadabaru? It means don't cut ties with your fellow brother. If you have issues, wallahi, this one is a difficult one, ikhwani, because it happens to all of us. Where something happens with dunya and certain things and we cut our brothers off. Prophet said us, la tadabaru, which is tahajjud, meaning you're literally boycotting your fellow brother or sister. Okay? So it means that, for example, whenever you meet, you can't even look at each other, you don't even give each other salams, you don't even do anything. But what's so sad, ikhwani, with this, and it's difficult, but even if you hate someone, okay, they've done something to you, they've, cut in pieces your honor, they've done even beyond that, let's say, they've cursed you. When you meet them, at the very least, give them the right, so look at them in the eyes and give them salam. Even if you don't like them, at least you've given them your haqq, by giving them salam. What's sad is that someone does something to you, for example, or maybe they didn't even do anything. Maybe you heard, maybe you didn't even, see to it that what you've heard is correct. You don't give them salam, but yet you go in the streets and you give salam, and you smile and have tea with John and Smith and Samantha and Stacey. And you treat them as if they're your blood brother or sister. But yet to your own brother, you can't make afu, you can't tajawuz, you can't just overlook it. Or at the very least, you know what, it's been a couple of years, let me just forget it. Khalas, it's been a couple of years, I haven't spoken to him. Let me be the first one to give salam. Even though he wronged me, let me just give him salam. Wallahi, you should be able to do that. Why? Because of the fact that you're going to get reward from Allah Azza wa Jal. When you do something for the sake of Allah, it will never go to waste. So that's the next part of the hadith. وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا وَلَا يَبِعْ بَعْضُكُمْ عَلَى بَيْعِ بَعْضٍ. What does this mean, Ayyub? Yeah.
That's the undercut one, I think. Do not undercut one another. True.
Say it, what is it?
I've got the English in front of me, sorry. And do not undercut one another in trade.
Yeah, that's literally what it means. Like you want
the
to.
first one is inflating the price.
Yeah,
The second one
this one undercutting. So you basically want to sell instead of your. So that's what it means. When you undercut someone with regards to trade, selling things, business, whatever it may be. And we see this happen so many times. Wallahu musta'an. Huh? For example, let's say I've got an Umrah company, you've got an Umrah company, for example. Okay, and you've got customers, me and you are together, sorry, as an Umrah company is one. And then I go and do my own thing. And I'll steal your customers, I'll sell them something even at a cheaper price because of the fact that I want to take them. So it's almost as if you're stealing that specific thing and you're undercutting you and going under the table and doing stuff without your knowledge. So in this instant, someone else is not coming in to sell something higher in order for me and you to both, or for me to benefit. It's more or less that I'm basically cheating you even though we have something together. So the example the Shaykh gave here is two people are selling something, okay? Someone else comes and he says, leave it, okay, don't buy it, I'll sell it to you for a cheaper price. But of course it's going to be without the knowledge of the person that's selling it. Does that make sense? Have I lost you? Yeah? I've lost you.
No.
Oh, you understand? You got it, yeah? So Yusha and it's gone. So Yusha and Ishaq are selling something. They're selling to you something, for example.
Isn't it when they agreed to sell something? Right?
Yeah, so two people. Yeah, so then afterwards, let's say for example, I would come in and I would say to you, you know what, I'll sell it to you for a cheaper price, come to my shop. So yeah, I'm selling, exactly, and it happens so many times. So I'm selling something to you, even though I know very well that you've already been given an offer for something. Yeah.
Is this something between Muslim companies or is this even with foreign companies?
No, but here it's talking about Muslims. Allah alam in terms of, just talking about the hadith specifically, yeah, Muslim to a Muslim.
So, because Muslims are careful, they don't.
In terms of
undercutting, so they're attacked as.
Allah alam, should that be a sifat of a Muslim? To do such a thing?
This company do the sales things, it's very.
Oh, you mean in the jobs and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, Allah alam, okay, that's Allah alam. No, this is talking about specifically a Muslim to a Muslim. So with that, Allah alam, we ask the ulama and we'll see in terms of that specific thing, scenario anyway. That. But this specific thing happens all the time. Khan, what time is Maghrib?
6 minutes.
Okay. And then it says, وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا. So you should be, as Muslims, what? Brothers. You should be close brothers to Muslims. I mean, you should love each other for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And inshallah, I think we'll cover this next part of the hadith next week. But this part is وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا الْمُسْلِمْ أَخُو الْمُسْلِمْ. You should be brothers. كَالْبُنْيَانِ, as another hadith says, meaning that if Fahad feels some sort of harm, he feels sick, I should come and visit him. If Fahad has problems, I should feel that problem as well. We should be like one body. Muslim كالبنيان يشد بعضه بعض. Okay? Literally, if he falls short in something, I should come and get him up. But today, Fahad feels short in Iman or something, instead of me coming and get him up, I crush him even more. That's not the hal of a Muslim. It should be rather that he is weak in something, therefore I should come and help him. Al-Muslim, أخو المسلم, لا يظلمه. He doesn't oppress one another. Okay, لا يخذله. He doesn't, cheat and go around being, in a state as if you're wicked and you're in a state where you believe now you can now cheat this person, be this,
That's what's going on today, isn't it?
Huh?
That's what's going on today.
والله للأسف الشديد. Unfortunately. للأسف الشديد. ولا يكذبه, and you shouldn't lie to your fellow Muslim. ولا يحقره, and you shouldn't look down towards احتقار, when you look down towards another fellow Muslim. Why? Because of the fact that a Muslim is a Muslim. Should be unity. But that's why we said in the beginning, that's why the Prophet ﷺ and the companions, they conquered lands. They owned lands, conquered lands. We had honor, we had izzah, but now because we're fighting each other, there's no izzah. Allah musta'an. And the Prophet ﷺ said, التقوى ها هنا وأشار إلى صدره ويشير إلى صدره 3 مرات. التقوى ها هنا, التقوى ها هنا, التقوى ها هنا. Meaning that this is where the piety is, and this is what you'll be judged with. And inshallah we'll end there بإذن and next week we'll carry on due to the fact that Maghrib's coming in. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.